Squad, what's up with my tater tots? Y'all already know who it is. It is your girl Taniya, and I'm back again with another video. And today's video, y'all, guess what? I came prepared, lip sync chat, nice and moisturized. I got my little lip gloss, my little Vaseline. I ain't playing no games with nobody. Period. Y'all, so as y'all can see by the title of the video, I'm going to be doing my very first story time. And I'm going to be telling y'all about my crazy, like, out-of-pocket first apartment story. And I got my hood on because I don't like the way my hair looking up under this. It's a little ponytail, but it looks a little raggedy or whatever. So I got my hood on, you know, and it creates an illusion to the story. Before I get into the story time, make sure y'all like, comment, share, and subscribe. And follow your girl on Instagram, that's Laid. Laid with 4 A's. And without further ado, let's get into this story time of my hood. Stay on, honey. There we go. Cut off that circulation around that neck. And without further ado, let's get into this video. Okay, y'all. So, this was my junior year in college. I decided to move off campus. Me and my old roommate at the time. You know, I was on campus for 2 years. And I'm just like, I'm over it. I just want to be on my own, be grown. Like, I want to be able to just have company whenever I can have company. I want to do what I want to do in the comfort of my own home. So while I was looking for apartments and stuff, I found an apartment that was super close to the school. It was affordable, and you know, it looked cute. I went and I seen it before I had left and went back home to California for the summer. So while I was trying to apply and do all of that other stuff, I did all of that while I was back at home. So did all of that good stuff, got approved, whatever. I flew out to Atlanta from California the day before I moved into my apartment, and the day I moved in was August 11th. I was 20 at the time. I'm like, 20 with my own apartment? Like, girl, hello? Okay, I'm gonna take this off because this is So I'm like 20 with my first apartment. Like, girl, you was really doing it. Like, can't nobody tell you nothing. N-D-E-P-E-N-D-E-N-T. Do you know what that mean, man? Well, it wasn't just my apartment. I had a roommate, but still, couldn't nobody tell me nothing. Couldn't nobody tell us nothing because we was doing our grown woman stuff. So, went to the leasing office August 11th, signed all of the necessary papers, gave them my ID, did all of that stuff, got my keys. I'm going to show y'all a little picture because I was so excited. Got my keys, and I was just like, okay, this is real. I'm really doing this, y'all. Like, I'm really out here living. Well, the only thing that kind of threw me off is they didn't allow me to see my apartment before, like, signing all of the papers. Which, back then, I didn't know no better. It was my first apartment, so I just thought everything was cool. But since I seen a model home, I'm like, what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling like it's gonna be the same stuff. And at the time, I didn't know to check reviews, so I didn't check anything. And I don't even think they had no reviews at the time, actually, now that I look back. Anyway, so I moved in August 11th, 2017.
Man, you gonna open that door?
Was so excited, y'all. Was so excited. So, literally, the next day on August 12th, literally, I woke up scratching and itching, and I had these little bites on my leg, on my arm, and it was itching too. Like, I'm talking about the ones you can't do nothing but scratch. So I'm just like, okay, you know what I'm saying? It's the South. Maybe something bit me outside or whatever, you know? I don't know. It's only my 3rd day out here. I'm just like, okay, so I'm getting bit. I don't really know what's going on, but I'm just gonna kind of wait it out because I'm literally thinking like it's still the summertime. The mosquitoes and stuff, they out here. But then it's like, it's crazy because when I stayed on campus and stuff, I was never getting bit. Like, this is literally the day after I moved into my apartment. We really tried to kind of ignore it, just thinking because, okay, it's the South, maybe something just going on, whatever. We go out, we get all the stuff for the house, and you know, when you first move in, unless you just rich, you don't have no bed or nothing. I didn't have no bed, of course. I just moved in I'm not gonna have no bed already. So whatever, ended up getting all of the little stuff for the house. Got all like the cleaning supplies and all of that stuff. Got like blankets and all of that kind of stuff. So a few more days go by. I'm just like, okay, this is getting out of hand. Like, I'm still getting in bed. I don't know what's going on. And I'm just like, I was kind of overwhelmed because, you know, your first apartment, this is supposed to be like a fun time. This is supposed to be exciting. You get all your smell goods. You get all of that kind of stuff. And instead, I'm over here stressed out because I'm steady getting bit by stuff and I don't know what I'm getting bit by. So eventually ended up telling the leasing office, like, I'm getting bit. Like, I can show y'all the proof. I got the pictures and videos right here. And they basically told us, like, okay, well, we'll give y'all a week to move out if that's what y'all want to do. Let me just back it up. Because I'm skipping some stuff. I'm tripping. So, the day after I moved in, we had some unwanted guests up in there. And I'm not just talking about 1 or 2 or 3 unwanted guests. I'm talking about an infestation of guests that we did not bring or invite into this apartment. I'm talking about roaches, y'all. Roaches. You had them little baby itty bitty roaches. You had the medium sized roaches. You had the fat daddy roaches. I'm just getting chills just thinking about it. Y'all, it was so many roaches up in my apartment. It made no sense. They was crawling all on the counter in the kitchen, all on the floor. They was inside of the outlets, in the bathroom. Like, they were literally everywhere. Me, I don't know how many times I have to keep reiterating this. I'm from California. The only way how you have roaches in your house is if you're completely dirty. Like, filthy, trifling, just dirty. We don't have roaches. We have like spiders, flies, fruit flies, you know, stuff like that. Roaches? I'm sorry. I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't play with the roaches. I don't play with the bugs. I don't even play with the spiders. But roaches? You're dirty. If you got roaches in your house, you're dirty. I'm sorry. Unless, I guess, you live in the South, I just come to realize that's just the bug that's out here. It's just the roach bug. But I'm not finna deal with it. So we tell the leasing office and they talking about some y'all got a week to go if that's what y'all want to do. School start next week. We just flew out here from our hometown. Y'all telling us we got a week to leave? Where I'm gonna go? And school start next week. What apartment is we about to find within a week? And we got to deal with all of this extra stuff. And we already been paid y'all this, that, and the third to move in here. And y'all talking about, okay, well, we'll give y'all a week to figure out what it is y'all want to do. Mind y'all, the people in the leasing office, when we first moved in, that was super cool. I'm telling y'all, that code switch ain't no joke. Started being rude, nasty, don't want to answer the phone, don't want to respond back to emails, just being just out of pocket. And I'm just like, what are y'all mad at me for? Because y'all didn't want to tell me that it's roaches up in here. Y'all didn't want to tell me none of this. After we tell the leasing office that it's roaches and stuff like that, they said they was gonna get the people to come out and spray. Still didn't work. Still didn't really do too much of nothing. Like, it kind of made them come out, because I guess when you do stuff like that, all the little critters is gonna come out of their little hiding spot and they gonna, whatever, they just gonna be out. And it was just like, just dead roaches just chilling, just having a little funeral for their dead partners, rest in peace, because it was just roaches just everywhere. So ended up trying to figure out where they was coming from, and I ended up seeing it was like a hole in the counter, like underneath the counter. And I was like, yeah, y'all definitely gonna have to come up in here and patch this up, because that's part of the place where they come in and going. So they came and they patched that up. And you know, y'all, we was just like trying to just figure out little ways to really just deal with it. So when I told them about the whole roast thing or whatever, and they said we had a week, they ended up refunding us our money back. I don't know if they knew that they did that or whatever. They had to know. I mean, how could you not know? So they ended up refunding us our money back, gave us that week. We ended up staying because we didn't have nowhere else to go. But basically, the prorated rent that we paid for half of the month, we ended up getting that back, and we basically stayed there the rest of that month for free. Next month, no, not even the next month, the same month. Y'all, them people upstairs, they had like 3 kids, loud. I'm talking about like louder than that. They was on the 3rd floor, we was on the 2nd, and I wanted to stay on the top level so bad. But by the time it was time for us to move in, they didn't have no top floor units available. So we just settled for the second floor. So them people upstairs were so loud and inconsiderate. I'm talking about 8 in the morning, 7 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 12 at night, 11 at, it don't matter what time it was, they were so loud. You could hear screaming through the walls, through the floor. You could hear they water running when they turn on their shower. You could hear conversations. The people upstairs used to be arguing with each other. You could hear them arguing and cussing. It was horrible. It was horrible. Like, when it came time for midterms and all of that, I already knew I wasn't gonna get no sleep. Like, they were so loud and so inconsiderate. And I'm just like, do y'all not know that y'all got people who stay under y'all? Like, y'all really just dumb loud and just don't even care. Like, a few weeks go by, I'm telling my mom about everything. Of course, she's furious. She's mad. She's hot. Like, y'all got my daughter messed up, period. So I ended up telling her about the bugs and all of that stuff too. I really don't want to tell her so early because I didn't want her to be like stressed out about it and trying to like fly down and doing all of that other stuff because she still had to work. So she ended up doing some research stuff and found this stuff called boric acid, and she sent me some boric acid, did all of that stuff, put it around the walls. She sent me some little plug-in stuff, put that in, and slowly the bugs kind of started to go away. Like, no lie, the bugs started to go away a little bit. So I ended up looking up the reviews on the apartment after I was already moved in and stuff like that, and it was this long drawn out review from this girl. Review reads, roaches. Its first drawback is that it has roaches. And when I say roaches, I don't mean 1 or 2. That's what I said. I don't mean 1 or 2. This is not the first review that you'll read when people talking about this problem. There was a persistent infestation of roaches. When you come in, they will tell you there is a routine pest control. Do not be fooled. Their pest control services will not get rid of the roach problem. However, I cannot read, y'all. However, I overlooked this and decided to deal with the problem on my own. I googled tons of solutions and found a combination that worked. It required 3 types of roach control to target different stages of the roach reproductive cycle. Bear in mind that expense came out of my pocket. Definitely very relatable because they didn't pay for anything that we had to do to get rid of these bugs. Broken gates. I forgot to mention that. Yes, definitely. The gate was always broken to the apartment. That is no type of security. Why am I renting here and I got a gate and I got a key card thing for the gate and it don't even work? Like, literally every other week the gate was broken, just left wide open. That means anybody could come up in here. Like, if reason number 1 did not deter you, then here's another. The gates are constantly broken. In many of my neighborhoods, vehicles got broken into. 2 of my friends who lived in different apartments in this complex, apartments got broken into. My female friend's apartment was broken into while she was in an apartment, and she has been paranoid ever since, as you should. I personally never had a car here. However, when I go into the front office, I would hear people complaining to the management about the cars being broken. Roommate attacked and hospitalized. Staying here is not only a safety concern for your property, but it's also a safety concern for your personal safety. My first roommate that lived with me in the first apartment complex had been attacked from a homeless person in this area. I'm gonna skim through this a little bit. Oh, she was beaten, her eyes were swollen, and she was immediately hospitalized. I won't go into the gory detail of the experience, but this is not a safe area. Poor infrastructure. That's what I just told y'all about the neighbors. Do you like hearing the apartments above you? In this complex, there are children, which didn't bother me, but might bother you. You hear every argument people have outside. Yeah. You hear heavy footsteps your neighbors to the top makes. Yeah. The only redeeming quality they have is one of the leasing managers, which I'm not going to say her name. So the fact that I read this after I moved in, it kind of like deterred me a little bit even more, because I'm like, this sounds very, 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 very real to what I'm going through. So once I read the review, I ended up messaging the girl because I'm like, that don't even make no sense how this just sounds so accurate. So I was like, hey, if you don't mind, can you tell me what unit you stayed in while you were attending at blank blank blank, because I just moved in and I'm having the same problem. She said, I lived in the unit blank while I was there. Why was that the same unit, y'all? So she moved out of the unit that I just moved into, and we were having the exact same problems. So after I seen that review, it just made me just so upset. Like, wow, that's crazy. So she said, yeah, get out because it doesn't get any better, only worse. The stuff that I had started to work. The roaches were like slowly going away, and yeah, it was just cool. You know, after a while we started like trying to decorate. We had like a party there. We had Thanksgiving there. All my friends came in to town. They didn't notice no roaches when they was there. Like, everything was really cool for the most part. It started to just go away. We still had to deal with the funky attitudes in the leasing office and the gates being broken all of the time. But just due to the fact that it was literally like right up the street from the school, it was just like, it was convenient, and we just eventually dealt with it. So me and my roommate ended up having to talk. Months ended up going by, and in January the roaches and stuff started to come back, and it was just like, okay, at this point, like, we can do better. I'm just so tired of seeing these roaches and dealing with these loud neighbors and the gates constantly being broken, leasing office being rude. We was just like, I think it's probably time to just move out. And we signed a 12-month lease, but by the time we wanted to move out, we had to break our lease. And it was just like, I didn't really want to go through the hassle of breaking the lease. That could potentially mess up us moving into another apartment. So we just had to do what we had to do or whatever. We had to write them a letter agreeing that this is what we wanted to do. And we ended up breaking our lease, and we gave them a 60-day notice of when we wanted to leave. And yeah, so we broke our lease in January. So from August to January, that's how long we stayed there. August, September, October, November, December. We was only there for 6 months before breaking our lease. And we ended up moving out in March and moved into a better apartment. But just the hassle of breaking the lease and just finding more apartments, like, Atlanta started to get real expensive at the time. So we looking everywhere, we finding stuff, but it's too expensive. And we just like, okay, well, do we move back on campus? Do we move into a student loft apartment kind of style? Like, we didn't know what to do at all. Was looking high and low for apartments like every day. It was just like such a hassle. So I ended up finding an apartment, but the apartment wasn't going to be ready by the time we needed to move into the apartment. So it was just like, for a month, we were just trying to figure out what we was going to do for a month, because the apartment wasn't going to be ready until the following month from when we could move in. And it was just like, we was gonna be homeless, y'all. We was gonna be homeless for a month. I ended up asking some people if we could stay with them, and this is something that I don't like doing. I don't like asking nobody for nothing. I don't ask nobody for nothing. Ended up having to ask this girl that I knew if we could stay with her. She agreed. Of course, we was gonna slide her some money for letting us stay there. But when I asked her, her response was kind of like a, oh, I guess y'all could stay with me kind of thing. Like, and it was just like, no, we're not about to stay there with her, because she seemed like she don't want us there. The way she was responding was dry. Like, if my friends was down and bad and needed somewhere to stay, my house was always the place. It was. It ain't no more, because I don't like y'all like that. No, I'm just playing. My house was always the place. And the fact that her response was just so dry, it kind of threw me off. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm cool off you, sis. We gonna make it do what it do. By the grace of God, I kid y'all not, it was probably like a few weeks before it was time for us to move in. I ended up calling the apartment again, and I talked. He was so cool. He was super cool. The leasing agent was super cool. Ended up calling him. He was like, yeah, we got a 2-bedroom right now for the same price as what I paid for the apartment with the roaches. He was like, we got a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom unit. You can look at it you can look at it today. It's available today. All of this good stuff. I'm like, sir, You don't have to tell me nothing. I'm on my way. Signed everything, got approved right there on the spot, and we was able to move in the day we wanted to move in, and everything went well by the grace of God. I wasn't homeless. I wasn't sleeping on nobody's floor, on nobody's couch, on nobody's nothing. And yeah, y'all, that is pretty much it. It may not seem like a lot to y'all, but it was a lot to me at the time because, one, this was my first apartment. Who wants to deal with people upstairs being loud and obnoxious and inconsiderate? Not me. Who wants to deal with apartments and cars being broken into and just feeling unsafe? Not me. Who wants to deal with roaches? Not me. So we did what we had to do, and we broke that lease, and we found an apartment that was way better for us. Only drawback about the apartment was it was far, and then nobody wanted to drive to school, back and forth, all day, every day. So yeah, but it's better than sleeping with roaches. I'd rather deal with the drive than to deal with the roaches and the rude leasing office people. But anyways, yeah, y'all, that completes my horrific first apartment experience. Comment down below. Let me know if y'all had an experience similar to mine. Let me know how y'all first apartment experience went. Yeah, that's all. Thank y'all for watching my first story time video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, comment, share, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. That is Lay with 4 A's. And that concludes my story time video.